everybody, we are back again with another E3 special cast. Today we are going to be talking about the Bethesda conference that happened. I won't say shortly after the EA one, but earlier today. Yep, and there was a lot of things that were revealed on at this year's conference. I don't feel like it had the same impact as the first one. But we did get some looks at some pretty good ones, and a really big surprise in the middle of it.
There was no Fallout 4 hype. That was the thing.
Well, Fallout 4 was pretty cool. I mean, I like the idea of Nuka World and all the stuff they showed.
No, that's not what I meant. I meant like.
Oh yeah, it wasn't anywhere
going
near.
in was like, oh shit, there's gonna be a Fallout 4 announcement at 8. There's gonna be more. It's gonna finally be shown off. So.
But let's run it down from the beginning. So they started the conference off with the beautiful Adam Sessler.
The beautiful Adam Sessler and
the manly Morgan Webb. See how I switched it? That's right. Gender equality, mother. And
no, but in all seriousness, they came back and they still have their chemistry.
Yeah, they're still awesome. And they had a third guest who was taking his shirt on and off.
That guy is a dick.
Yeah, seriously. If I know you're not going to hear this, but if you somehow do, I hope you
did it because he's going to be internet.
Put your thumb in your butt. Anyway, so. Yeah. They started the conference off with something that everyone loves, of course.
Game announcement.
Mm-hmm.
Quake Legends.
So, Quake, as everyone knows, an old game. One of the first multiplayer games. Not the first, as we learned through the trivia questions. Yeah. But definitely the first one to really take off as a big multiplayer game. And now they're bringing it back. Just like they did with Doom, they're bringing back Quake. And it's going to be a little different. Now there's actually going to be classes, which is weird because Quake never really had classes. But I'm interested to see what they do with it. What do you think about it?
I could care less. No, in all honesty, like the arena deathmatch games like that in Unreal, like they're fun to play, but I don't get too excited for them.
Aww.
However, on a side note, the hangar that they were in was beautiful. Like,
oh my god, the screen on the top. It was like all full projection. No screen.
I think they just used a wall.
Yeah, I think it was just projection. Like it was really well done. Very simplistic but awesome.
That's the crazy thing. Like Bethesda didn't need to be all fancy, and they got their points across.
Yeah, they didn't have to have some guy on stage saying, "I'm gonna enter the wasteland, and you're coming with me." And speaking of Wasteland, the
next was Elder Scrolls Legends, the card game.
We'll not talk about that one. So essentially what it is, it's just Hearthstone with Dunmers. So they before the press conference actually got started, they showed a little bit. They did this introduction video, which they showed before, but just to kind of reintroduce it to you. The system of it, and the system is very, very similar to Hearthstone, except the only difference is that there's a lane system. That's really it. So think of it like MOBA.
Tapping mana.
So anyway, then Elder Scrolls Legends. What do you think? Would you play it?
No, I play Hearthstone occasionally. Can't wait for Gwent, but
rest in peace, Gwent.
I wasn't too fond
So then,
of that.
Speaking of the waste,
now speaking of Wasteland,
so they
our lovely
kind of showed
Lord
off,
and Savior Towered Howard comes on the screen.
So they showed off kind of the model. So now we know for a fact that they're gonna do the smaller little updates, which are the workshop updates, and then they're gonna do the big expansion. So the new workshop updates we're gonna get are the contraptions, the mannequins,
the assembly lines,
and all that, and then we're gonna be getting Nuka World. As our next big expansion.
But even before that, you skipped something. The ability to build vaults.
Who gives a shit?
Because now you can play Fallout Shelter, except now you can play it on the big screen, which is funny because a little bit later on they announced that Fallout Shelter is coming to PC,
which is I'm excited about. Anyway, but yeah, so Nuka World, we have this whole. So I guess before the war there was an amusement park. And apparently it's still up and running.
Yeah. Wait, no, I have a feeling that got built after.
You think so?
Yeah, because it looks like it's all built from like the scraps that people brought.
I think they found an amusement park that was Nuka World, and then they rebuilt it. Because they were like, we could get caps. And there's probably going to be some dark fucking thing behind it.
I can't wait to play that. I want it to be like the Itchy and Scratchy Land world, Itchy and Scratchy Land episode of The Simpsons, but for Fallout, which would be amazing. You have robotic Pip-Boys coming at you.
Or even, I don't know if you saw the American Dad one, where they had like the different worlds and like each member of the family was like the leader of it. So it was actually pretty cool. Anyway, the point is that after, so we're getting more Fallout. That's really what.
And I have a feeling that's all coming out under the season pass banner. So if you pay that extra money for the season pass,
it's all it is all season pass.
You're all getting that for free. So
yeah, it's all season pass stuff. But also August release date for Nuka World.
Yeah.
So after that we had what did we get after that?
I think what's funny is that we just watched this and I'm like,
Prey.
Oh no. We get the gentleman from Arcane Studios who comes on stage and shows off a little video. We thought it was going to be Dishonored, but it was Groundhog's Day. Except it wasn't Groundhog's Day. It was the new revelation of a new Prey game.
Yeah, well, I mean, from the ashes of Prey 2K
and
comes Prey, and no longer are we the Native American. We are some new guy in the future.
I don't think we're in the future.
We're in space.
I think we're in stasis. That's why we keep seeing.
No, they even said we're going to be on a space station where like is this colony and all this dumb shit. But you might be right because they are taking a more surrealist, psychological treatment to it now, which is an interesting take for Prey.
What's funny, too, is that during that whole conference, I was like, I'm just naming things. Like, I'm like, oh, this looks like this, and it happened. I said it about 3 or 4 times, and I was like, I need to stop. It's like, because I'm assuming that I'm guessing all these things.
That's right, Brendan. Stroke that ego.
Oh, yeah, because I was right. We're missing out on something. At the end of that Fallout 4 presentation, it finally was officially
announced that Brendan's going to talk into his mic.
I was looking at that.
I don't know what that is.
Look at it. It was announced that Elder Scrolls V: The Skyrim is getting a remastered edition.
What is this? A Pip-Boy replica?
Yep. An actual one.
An actual one?
Not that crap.
One. That's cool. Yeah. I'll get it. $350. I'll do it.
Yeah, so we got that. The DLC, Build Your Vault. We got Prey announcements. Oh, also
Skyrim Online. Elder Scrolls Online.
Do you want to talk about that?
No, I mean it's just it is what it is. It's just more content update. They're gonna do the
Brotherhood.
The Dark Brotherhood is gonna come out soon, within a few days, I believe, and they're gonna do a new system now where there is no level requirements per zone.
One Charmail.
So, yeah, essentially what they're doing is they're taking the open world approach. Some other MMOs have done this before too, where it's like you can just kind of go into any zone. But the way they're going to do it is that you kind of scale as you go along. So, yeah, there's going to be harder creatures out there, but you can fight them now if you want to. It's just going to be a little more challenging until you get better equipment, I assume. Will that help the game out?
Probably not.
Yeah. I mean, it was voted the best MMO of 2000.
Yeah, they kept touting that, which was like, all right, we get it.
We get it. There's no other MMOs out there.
Next, we get a little special glimpse into the VR future of Bethesda, where they announced both Doom and Fallout 4 are going to be HTC Vive supported starting in 2017.
Which is insane. It's insane and it's not insane. So, it's cool that we're going to be able to play Doom and Fallout in these new things, in VR with this new thing, but it does stand to question how long do they expect Doom and Fallout's longevity to be by 2017? How soon into 2017 are we going to be able to do VR with these games? Because otherwise, will it just be more of like a gimmick feel where you're just like, oh, I'm playing the same exact game except now I'm in first person with a headset?
What made me laugh, too, was I was like, man, that Doom would be fun. But you know what would be even better? I turned to Stefan and I go, imagine just walking in the wasteland and just chilling in VR and fucking having things come at you. And then they were like, and we're going to go to the wasteland with VR. It's like, yes, thank you.
That's right, Brenda.
What I need.
Earn that paycheck.
I wish I could. I wish I could. Guys, by the way, I plan all of Bethesda's conferences, so I knew all the announcements.
Okay. Yeah, we got a little bit of... We got a little bit of information. I mean, Bethesda's presentation so far was mostly just either stuff we knew or just kind of a teaser, a hint as to what's coming out in the future. Are you afraid? Can you knock it back?
The cat was knocking stuff down.
Oh, man. Sorry.
Zap.
I have a cat. Anyway, so like you said, let's get to the main event.
So the last show, the last game, which I thought there was going to be more, but the last game shown was Dishonored 2. And they showed off some story. They showed off you get to play as, oh man, I feel so unprepared. I forgot her name.
Come on, you know this.
I'm terrible with names. What was her name?
I don't remember.
There you go. Oh, they also revealed a collector's edition for Dishonored 2. That comes with a mask.
Stefan's getting because Stefan wants that Corvo mask. So they actually gave out the Corvo mask with Dishonored 1.
No, I remember that.
Yeah, and I didn't fucking get it because I was like, it's just Dishonored. And then I played it and it ended up being one of my favorite games of that generation. Really good game. So I'm excited. I was excited to see all the gameplay stuff for it.
And guess what? There's a great buzzword that was announced here. Again, weather controlling areas.
Yeah. So we got to see kind of the cutscene, the beginning. We're finally, they're setting up the world of Dishonored 2.
Emily Corvo is her
Emily,
name.
yep. So we're going to be going from Dunwall to this new area, which sounds really funny, and I for some reason can't remember the name of it. But it's pretty much like a desert town. So it's a completely different looking area from Dunwall. Mm-hmm. For those of you who have played the first one. So finally, we're gonna get new locales, and although, as they stated, the game is going to begin and end in Dunwall, we are going to be spending a lot of time in this new city. And
the second video without dropping my phone. And
after describing this new city, and after describing the setup where Emily is in charge now, she is the new empress, and her father is with her, which is Corvo, the protagonist from the first game. There is someone going around assassinating her enemies. So now people are starting to wonder if she's doing this. So now she's ruling by blood, which she's not obviously doing. Someone's trying to sabotage it and make her seem like the bad guy. And of course, you have to go and investigate to figure out what's happening, because some crazy shit's going to happen in Dunwall, and it's going to force you to fucking go out and pretty much state your claim as not being the bad guy.
What was the name of the engine that they're using for this game?
Oh, man. Why do we forget everything?
Because we didn't write anything down.
Which I'm
going to do for the next video.
We were just really tired.
I've been up since early.
But yeah, so they have this new engine that they're going to be working with, which leads to
annotate, just put the words by.
Yeah. So there's going to be a new engine that they're introducing for Dishonored exclusively, which is interesting. And for those of you in the comments, or those of you who want to comment, I'd like to know if you guys know or think that it's going to be an in-house developed engine. Because if it is one by Bethesda, maybe that's why we haven't heard anything about the new Elder Scrolls. Anyway,
speaking of that, or the lack there.
Wait, we'll get to that. I just wanted to continue with Dishonored just real quick. So after we just discussed the setup and we discussed in the city, they show some gameplay footage. And honestly, it's a mix of the old and the new. It's kind of the same power set that we had in the first game with some really cool new additions. They've expanded the world. They've allowed you to do more exploration. Play just like in the first one, you could play the same way you want, and that's really awesome, dude.
Weather system.
Yeah, there's the weather system. Yeah, man, it just looks intriguing, and I like
it because I've never played the first one.
I really miss games where they had a single player campaign that lets you choose a character, because you kind of have to they're very different characters. They're going to be different characters, so you can play the game different ways multiple times as with a character select in the beginning, which is dope. I enjoy that. Not just create a character and play, but
Borderlands. Think about it. As much shit as you guys like to give me for that game, I've been replaying 2 as of late, and it's just I'm playing it as a different character because I usually have a go-to character for each time. So it's I'm going to try something different, and I have to play the game completely different this time around because it's so maybe I should just sit back and let my robot go fuck shit up. But also, what was intriguing is if you pre-order the sequel, you get the first definitive edition with all its DLC content to kind
of, which is insane.
But I wonder if they're gonna do what they did with Fallout, and you're gonna have to wait till the game comes out in order to do it.
Oh, that would suck.
I'm gonna check the PSN tonight and see if it's just like, well, they'll do like what they did for Taken King, where it's like, here, you're gonna have Destiny while you wait. Other than that, let's talk about what we didn't see at and that was rumored.
This all leads back to an initial in-house email leak. So a year ago, before E3 started in 2015, there was an email leak that came out that stated a whole bunch of internal development jargon. And pretty much it was dueling out kind of initiatives that were going to be going to different teams. Through it, we saw Fallout Project Boston. We saw Fallout not Fallout, but we saw Nuka. What is it again?
Nuka World.
Nuka World. So we saw Nuka World in that document as well. And obviously those were later revealed as Fallout 4 set in Boston. And now we have the DLC of Nuka World.
This is what got Kotaku in trouble. Blacklisted from... Speaking of that.
Wait. Before we get to that. So then later down that list, there is... now I can't remember the name of it. It's Earth something. Anyway, it's Greenwood or Green something, which is a town in Vellenwood. Now, Vellenwood is a city, is a continent or country in Elder Scrolls. So a lot of people were suspecting that the next game that's going to be coming out due to this leak was going to be Elder Scrolls Vellenwood. We didn't get anything.
Well, surprisingly enough, if you looked at the opening title where they had like the computer listed and the games, they had most of the games that were announced there, some Doom DLC and Wolfenstein, which I'm surprised we didn't get a new Wolfenstein announcement. No Evil Within 2. A lot of people believe. I feel bad for that girl that cosplays. Probably like, I can't wait for that announcement, and she's like, oh.
Yeah, nothing came out of it.
And no Elder Scrolls. They were like,
That's
nope,
surprising.
not even a mention of it.
I was really surprised. You know why? I think they're going to do the same thing that they did with Fallout. Where they're going to be like, oh, we got a new Elder Scrolls coming out, and it's coming out at the end of this year.
But I feel that like Fallout is a lot bigger than Elder Scrolls. I honestly do. Because I think more people would play Fallout than... You can market Fallout on the side of a bus, and somebody will go, oh, shit. Like, somebody doesn't casually play, like, hardcore RPGs like that, where they'll go, oh, shit, that's awesome. And then they'll see this thing where it's like, oh, this looks like Game of Thrones. I really don't want to play something that looks like Game of Thrones. I'm saying as a casual, not as somebody like you and I.
I don't think so, dude. I think more casuals were more interested in Skyrim at the time than they were for Fallout.
I'm only saying it from a perspective of like sales wise, like how I see it for sales.
But that's why I think what contradicts that is Skyrim HD. I think knowing that a lot of people, both casual and hardcore markets, played a shit ton of Skyrim. Skyrim was one of their best selling games. I think Elder Scrolls Vellenwood would have fucking sold just as well and had the same hype train as Fallout 4.
I'm going to go with that. I think that the only reason why we're getting an HD version of Skyrim is because they weren't ready to show off a new Elder Scrolls. So this was sort of like, well, we don't have a new Skyrim for you, but remember that old one you like? We've kind of rezzed it up a bit so you can enjoy it.
And we're
going to give you mods. Yeah, that was the other thing. It's like we're going to give you mods. Whereas opposed to where it's like, oh, but that kind of doesn't make up for the lack thereof of an announcement of 5.
I honestly...
6.
It's 6. Yeah. Honestly, I think, just personally, I think it's a number of factors. I think I think they want to do the same kind of like, later this year, you get the new Elder Scrolls. And personally, this is just a huge, like, fucking tangent. I do think it has to do with a new engine. There was a brief mention a while ago, internally, that Fallout 4 was going to be the last one to be using the current engine that they've been using for years.
Because I was sitting on my hands thinking, all right, so they had Todd Howard show up in a pre-recorded message. So it's like, I figured he might come out like as a surprise at the end and go, Blub, here's your Fallout, here's your new Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, if he didn't come out, there was probably not going to be an Elder Scrolls announcement.
And then I even thought about it at the end, like maybe, and then this is my same thinking with EA. Maybe one of the console conferences paid extra money. But I figured Sony's is going to be like VR, new first-party stuff, and Destiny 2.
Yeah.
Like, here's the new, whatever that Destiny expansion is coming out in December. In the meantime, we're working on 2. Here's a teaser. And then I came to thinking maybe Microsoft's going to be like, oh, hey, maybe we have this EA announcement that we're going to save for the Microsoft conference. Or Bethesda's like, don't save, we'll pay you extra money. We'll pay for your E3 presentation if you let us have Elder Scrolls. Which, shockingly enough, that'd be very very surprising, but I don't think that's Bethesda's MO.
You know what, though? I honestly do think that perhaps we could still see new Elder Scrolls. And I don't mean necessarily as an exclusive, but at least a announcement in one of the press conferences. Like, they'll have Todd Howard or somebody come out at the Microsoft thing and be like, we just want to show you a quick image. That's all we want to show right now. And then it just says Elder Scrolls from Vellenwood or something.
Who knows?
Goodbye, guys. And then that's it. And everyone's like jacking it to Microsoft.
Kojima. I was thinking about Kojima again.
Yeah, Kojima.
Kojima's probably going to open or close that Sony conference. Anyway.
Yeah, tomorrow's going to be a big day. Tomorrow's going to be a lot of big stuff.
Interesting.
Microsoft, Ubisoft, and Sony.
And the Sony. There's such a gap between Ubisoft and Sony. It's so ridiculous. It's like it's 2 and 10.
So we'll take a nap before that happens on each other.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you had to give Bethesda a grade, F to A.
B.
A B?
Give it a B. B for Brendan. No, actually, B for the badass announcement of Prey. Because that was fun. Like, I remember Prey was one of the first games I got on the Xbox, and it was so fun. And it was one of the first times I heard "Don't Fear the Reaper" outside of SNL, and I was like, "Man, this game's gonna be alien abduction."
Like the original Prey took a very old school approach to to games.
I'm curious to see if. I'm just gonna have to do my own research into it. If a lot of those original team members that almost kind of lost their jobs with
are now
2K working on this one, and if that'd be fucking awesome for Bethesda to do, and then kind of give it like this kind of rebrand, like a refresh, because a lot of the times you see games that go into development hell and they kind of you don't hear from them again. And when you do on the rare occasion. Yeah, when you do on the rare occasion get that game that everybody wants for a long time, i.e. Duke Nukem Forever, it turns out to be Duke Nukem Forever.
Yeah, unfortunately. That's so sad.
But, it's unrelated to Bethesda, but what happened with THQ. When THQ went out of business and a lot of the franchises, like one went here, the other one went there. For example, South Park was one of those games where it went to Ubisoft. They fixed it up. There was like, oh, okay, it actually looks good now. I don't think Dying Light was one of them. Saints Row, Dead Island, 2 examples of games that actually came out and sold well. Mm-hmm. She's not gonna go out the window.
No, I'm just wondering what she's doing.
She's trying to.
Okay,
that's a pet thing, and I'm just glad that they get an opportunity to tell the story that they wanted to tell. That's it. And with
Whoa! I didn't even get to give my thing.
Oh, I forgot.
And by the way, I want to start saying my own name. Damn. I don't know. I'd have to give them a very soft B. I'm only giving them a soft B because they kind of spoke about things that we already know. I mean, and to be honest, if you take it for what it is, though, if you take the conference for what it is, it was good. It was a very good conference. They were able to not only show you and tell you about things, but delve into them, get deeper into them, and which is what EA failed to do for almost everything. Mm-hmm. And as a result, it was good. I like the fact that they spend time on a game too. Rather than just say, yeah, there's going to be this XYZ, expect it. It was like, no, here's some gameplay. Here's some introduction to the world. This is some explanation as to how the game's being developed. Here's some explanation as to what you can do in the game. And here's some explanation as to who the characters are. Like, that's amazing. That's awesome. I know more about Dishonored 2 than I do about any of the games that EA showed. And if you just take it for what it is, without the disappointment of not getting a new Elder Scrolls, yeah, it was a good conference. So I would agree with you. I'd give it a B as well.
B for Brendan. No, no, I hope so. I just hope that Microsoft and both Sony can show off the goods, because I already know how that Ubisoft conference is going to go.
Show the goods, huh?
No. You know, it's surprising that Activision doesn't do a conference. Huh.
No, not really. I mean, Activision doesn't really do much.
Yeah, all their shit's third party anyway, so.
Anyway, you want to close this out?
Sure. In the comments below, let us know what you're most disappointed about that you didn't see here at this Bethesda conference.
We all know it's Elder Scrolls.
No, believe it or not, you have the fanboys who kind of wanted to see kind of Evil Within 2.
And an Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, who knows? And with that, you can watch our other E3 videos and go watch all our other stuff, please. We would have greatly appreciated.
No, you can. For Buff Bagwell.
I'm Scott Norton, and we are the American Males. Later, You have to end it now with American Males. Like, there's no.
I know.